Here I have the key to the new Chevrolet Suburban 2025, but this is the cheapest version there is. It's the LS model that you get in return when you buy the cheapest one and not some of the models from the higher range. Well, that's what I'm going to tell you, and it received quite a few updates that are going to surprise you. So join me because I'm going to drive it, and besides that, I'm going to tell you what's new with the Suburban 2025. The cheapest version, the LS Welcome. And let's talk about the exterior design. Let's see what change the cheapest Suburban, has had. And we start with the front grille. The front grille did receive an update. It has its front camera. It's a style somewhat different from the immediately previous model. Remembering that it is a mid-cycle update. We have functionality here, not so much down here. And the height itself is the regular height of all the Suburban. The one that has a slightly more pronounced height is the Z7-1 version. We have the headlights. This is an important fact. It also received an update. They now look different. I prefer this contemporary style. I think it gives more character to the Suburban. How much do you like these headlights? And the daytime running light also has a nice design on some of the trims. And we're going to check it out here with the key. When you approach to unlock the vehicle, we see that the daytime running light should turn on. With a small animation. I believe if I remember correctly, in the models, let's say a bit more expensive, that animation has a somewhat different pattern. In this one, well, it's what I'm showing you here. And we have its LED projection headlight. Obviously the DRLs, the daytime running light, is in LED technology. Here we have a bit more functionality. The tone was present on both sides. Chrome with the Crop Batin logo in yellow, stealing, let's say, the center of that front grille. Continuing the tour to the side, let's see if there is anything more novel in this Suburban, the LS model. We have that the rims are 18 inches, rim painted in a metallic tone. 265 millimeters wide, 65 profile on a Michelin tire. The suspension. In this one, you're not going to expect to have a Magna Ride suspension like in the higher models of the range. However, for the 2025, in the LS model and others, it has been recalibrated to provide a superior ride and rolling quality. They call it the Premium Smooth Ride suspension, which has been recalibrated a little more. But I'm going to tell you in the driving experience how good or how bad it is. Does it manage to overcome those bumps, those imperfections in the road when you're in the Suburban with that slight tuning they did to the suspension? On the side, the mirrors remain unchanged, matching the body color. The camera also stays in place. The peripheral vision it provides enhances safety, offering numerous safety features. This Chevrolet Suburban has significantly enhanced its standard offerings. Later on, I'll list some of those safety features that come with the Suburban here in high relief. This doesn't change perfect. The step also remains the same. We don't have much change in itself. As for the silhouette, the lines, well, obviously very clean from the Suburban. What makes it that quite classic look of full-size sport utility vehicle, a full-size truck. So, square-like. As we like the polarization of the glasses, this doesn't change anything. A bit of chrome here too. But how does the experience of driving the Chevrolet Suburban feel? But does the 2025 LS version drive like a cheap truck? That's what I'll tell you next. The suspension, as I mentioned, is not the Magna Ride, but an improved one called the Smooth Ride Suspension Premium. That's the name of the suspension we have here in this Suburban, and I noticed that it handles the road imperfections well. Of course, it transmits something to the cabin. It's not, let's say, completely like you're driving an air suspension for obvious reasons, but it also doesn't feel, let's say, too rough. Visibility, I find it good. Good visibility, of course, towards the back. It's a bit compromised, look, especially if the third row seats, you have the headrests raised, it's compromised. But, well, the good complement of the large side mirrors help you. However, it's not bad at all, and you have a good seat height so that your visibility is not compromised. Overall, the ride quality, handling, and driving position are quite good and comfortable, very similar to the other car. The difference is in the materials of the seats, because obviously they are not in leather or skin like in the higher end vehicles. Another thing you're not going to find, speaking of things you don't find, the Super Cruise system, and you're also not going to have the head-up display or the virtual projection of speed and other information. Those little things are not found. But really, with everything it offers, even though it's the LS model, the entry-level one, I do find that it has or offers quite a bit, being the cheapest one. We'll examine the engine of the most affordable 2025 Suburban to see if it has changed compared to the 2024 model. Well, that's what I'm going to tell you next. Good news, it's a 8.8, it's still a 8.8. Liters is the engine of the base model, the entry model, which is the LS 5.3 liters. It's a 8.8. It's coupled to a 10-speed automatic transmission, which is the same for all engine options available for this Suburban. And in terms of power, you have 355 horsepower with the Suburban and 383 pound-feet of torque in this V8 Ecotec engine. Did it change or not? No. That would be, let's say, the bad news at the engine level for the LS model. We don't have an engine change. Basically, what they call it is a carryover from the 2024 model. But, well, they haven't done anything strange. But the noche is it's still that 8.8 that we like so much. And what if we go inside? Because inside is also where there are very interesting things that the previous version of the Suburban didn't have, even the cheapest one, is where you're going to start seeing some of those things that justify buying the cheapest version of the Suburban. If you're enjoying the video, please like it. I'm in Dallas today, but later I'll be at the SEMA show in Las Vegas, showing you a number of trucks. If you're into trucks, you're going to want to keep an eye out for that coverage later in November. I also have the new Ford Expedition, which was exclusively presented to me at an event I was invited to in Detroit. There's a totally new one called the Tremor, so like and subscribe to Freedy Car Power 360's channel. Let's continue. And now let's talk about the interior. For that, we closed and started the vehicle. Let's see what surprises Chevrolet has for us. And this is one of the most beautiful things in this mid-cycle update of the Suburban. It's the cheapest, and yet, being the cheapest, look at what it comes with as standard. This screen, a screen, let's say, horizontal, is the platform of the Information and Entertainment Center, what they call the largest infotainment it has of any of the SUVs. And there I'm going to show you something they presented to us, the comparison with the other trucks at the level of the screens. This is the largest one. The orientation towards the driver, it's something we've seen, the same proportions we've seen in other Chevrolet products, and it's very well integrated with the Google Map. Other Google apps, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, are eventually replacing them because they are getting married or have married Google apps. For example, look at the definition we have in this peripheral camera of the LS model. This comes standard and also overhead. That is an angle from above and a side angle, so you know what's near the tires. Here's the home screen. You have several shortcuts here to the map, to the music, to the different applications, to the home, to the cell phone, to the camera.
All of this here, but also
Connectivity applications have spread out in icons, allowing you to listen to podcasts and audio. Do you have Wi-Fi? This is very complete as is. The Chevrolet aspect is one of the most entertaining things I like about it. And with this driver-oriented design, it's like enveloping, isn't it? The connectivity experience makes you feel deeply connected, involved, and engaged in the entire experience. Also, updates that it has had. They look at this extension for the 2025 model. Here you have USB-C connectivity, regular USB. Your air conditioning controls are physical here, but also at the climate level, you have them virtually or digitally on the screen. What else do we have around here? Well, the steering doesn't receive any updates, but the instrument panel is quite nice. I'll show it to you so you can see. The digitization is very similar to the Equinox or Blazer. It has a very nice panel. The transmission selector has been moved to be integrated into the steering column. Recall that previously we had buttons that were interesting for another reason. This example shows that it would accommodate 8 passengers. 3 in the second row, 3 in the back, and 2 here. But well, I'm going to add one more. Because look, here you have one more seat in this Suburban with its seat belt. Over here it has a headband in another vehicle. The central console is for 8 passengers, but 9 can travel here. And of course we have the transmission tunnel here in the middle, but well, a smaller person fits there if you need to do it. But it has good functionality here with its compartment, some additional storage spaces, its cup holder. Here you have it. This is interesting. And had I told you about the long list of safety features or safety characteristics it offers you, standard without having to pay more? The Chevrolet Suburban, that goes in harmony with what they have been offering in other models. Well, the Suburban is no exception, and from the LS model, which is the cheapest, or the entry model of the Suburban, there is also a long list. There you are, seeing it. I put it on the screen for you. Pause the video to see it, and familiarize yourself with all the safety features. When you're done, press play to continue, and look at the second row before giving you the reference of how you sit there, how you feel and sit in the second row. Look at the levers you have in this version. No, so this is how it is. It slides very easily, and with this, you give it like this twice. The seat bends a little, and when the other part is there, from there, the little millionaire train is passing. There is still a larger cargo space. Look at all this. Now you can put the mattress, not king size, but if you are a quite tall, lanky person, you can lie down there without any problem. Sitting here, it's clear that when taking a long road trip, you want to retire in the mountains. One of those road trips they call 10, 12, 14, 16 hours. Once I did one of 27 hours from southern Florida to the city of Boston. It was impressive, but in another competitor's van, what do you have here? Very good legroom, very good comfort. Here you have the possibility to recline this because if you want to lie down a bit, well, here you are going to travel comfortably. And this, well, is the reference itself. You have vents, air conditioning outlet, light here. For illumination, well, it's very good. The experience here from the second row. And obviously I'm going to show you here, the air conditioning controls. You have the ventilation level control. The temperature controls are physical buttons. Here you have the different modes and connection, also USB-C and a regular USB-C connector for the one buying the new iPhone 15 or 16. I just bought an iPhone, I'm very happy, but I had to change all the connectors because I don't know why they changed them to make more money. And for another good thing it serves, this removing of the seat is for access to the third row, and that's what I'm going to show you at this moment. Also, what would someone's travel experience be like? It has its headrest already in the third row of seats of the Chevrolet Suburban with adequate space. It's not, let's say, a third row that only serves for children or very small people, right? I believe you can also travel with relative comfort in the third row of the Chevrolet Suburban. At the connectivity level, I see a few USB-C ports. And if you get too hot or cold, depending on the time of year, well, you have vents, air conditioning outlets. There you have your USB-C and some cup holders in the back. I think all of that complements what is the experience of the third row of seats in the Chevrolet Suburban 2025. I moved it slightly closer to the shade because here in Dallas, it's incredibly hot, 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Do the conversion in Celsius. Don't ask me that right now because here we are used to Fahrenheit, but it's incredibly hot. And it's contradictory because in Dallas it's so hot and in Florida we have an impressive storm. Hurricane Milton is coming. Hopefully by the time you watch this, the situation has already resolved without incident. My best wishes to the people in Central Florida as they receive Hurricane Milton, and I hope that absolutely nothing has happened. Blessings from Texas to all in Central Florida. What's happening in the back, Freddie? This didn't change anything. It looks practically the same, but there is a detail that I have intentionally left on, and those are the rear headlights. The rear headlights were updated, and they look great. I mean, I really like this design that they have proposed for the Suburban, and that in the LS model is also part of that update, the cheapest model of the Suburban. This rear headlight figure features standard LED technology in both the front and rear headlights. And you have here some additional micro lenses, but yes, I really like the whole composition of the rear headlight. That is basically, let's say, the main change from the rest, very similar to the 2024 model. Further down is the cover for the trailer connections. Obviously, a lot of people here in the United States buy the Suburban with the goal of being able to tow their boat, their trailer. They're all those things that are very coveted here for the United States market and also in other countries. An interesting fact is that other versions of the Suburban have their quadruple exhaust pipe. Here you only have a single exhaust pipe, and in some versions, I think it's in the high country. If I remember correctly, the quadruple exhaust pipe is rectangular. Here you have it hidden, and further down you also have your spare tire. And about the tailgate, how do you open it? In this cheapest version, you have to lose some things, right? For example, you don't have the automatic key opening, do you? Something that opens with the key itself is you hit twice here in the glass. The window opens so that you have a bit more ease. It gives you a bit more versatility, right? This function. I love that a full-size truck can have this feature or this advantage. What doesn't open is the door. Automatically, you have to do it manually. I mean, it doesn't have automatic opening, nor does it have the proximity opening that the higher models in the range have. Simply approaching the door opens it without any need to kick or use force. Now let's examine the back part and look inside. The Suburban's cargo area offers an impressive amount of space as expected from a full-size sport utility vehicle, the largest in its class. It lacks some convenience luxuries, such as a button retractable third row, which higher models in the Suburban range offer. No, what you have here is the strap which you can pull from here. The strap is to pull the little pallet. This pin is what allows you to fold down the third row seats and look at all this flat space it gives you. Here you can go to the supply store, the big supermarket purchase for the super family, some materials, construction elements. You can even put a mattress in there. But well, look at all the space you have here. You also have a bit more space. Rescue equipment, some compartments. You have a regular electrical connector here. And this is the rear part, the cargo area of the Suburban LS. How about that? How does it respond to acceleration? Well, let's take advantage here a bit and push the pedal to the floor. Wow, quite well. Despite all that mass you're talking about in this full-size Suburban sport utility vehicle, I think it responds well. It's very good. Whether for overtaking, you're not going to have any trouble. I like that. Engine response, the transmission transitions are very good. It also doesn't get confused, so it's good. In terms of the fuel we have a capless system. That is a system without a cap for the fuel and consumption. At the time of this video, as it's a new mid-cycle update, they haven't officially released specific fuel consumption numbers. But I can tell you that since there's no change in the engine, we're talking about the same 17. Averaging 17 miles per gallon highway and street, or around 4.35 miles L. But what's the cost, Freddie? Haven't you told us? Well, I'm glad you asked me, because at the price level, they also haven't made official, let's say, an official figure. I think it's going to be around $64,000. We're talking about the Suburban, which the most expensive one is bordering $84,000, what I'm saying, compared to prices from 2024, which is the most expensive. The model or the high country version is the LS. Around there, it could be bordering those $63,000, $64,000. There's a nearly $20,000 price difference between the most expensive high country trim and the base LS trim, according to Chevy. And if you're going to go to a dealer, to the dealership to buy it, I recommend you go prepared and don't think about telling the seller how much you want to pay monthly, because it's one of the first questions they ask you. Mr. Fulano, how much do you want to pay? You claim to offer a perfect $400 monthly deal, but it's a deceptive trick. And for that, I wrote a book called Shut Up at the Dealer, where I tell you many of those strategies they use against you, and also recommendations on how to counteract that. Take a look in the video description on how to download Shut Up at the Dealer, my digital book. Very well. What do you think of the new Suburban? In 2025, the cheapest LS version would cost around $63,000 to $64,000. Or do you prefer to go for one of the higher models? Which of those models do you prefer? Well, tell me, it's in the comments. What did you like most about this Suburban? The cheapest one? I reiterate very well, if you like the video, you will also like these two that are over here. Sensational videos from my channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Give the video a like. If you liked it, obviously, and I see you and I wait for you in the next video, and I send you a big thank you.